since you were in here.
You changed the place.
A little bit. Kept some of the old touches.
Feels like home.
Is this what your room looks like?
Keep walking, you'll see.
Mr. Tish has been here before.
Has he now?
Yes. As per part of our agreement, we're working with each other, but I've been bringing him here to help delegate the task of finding those memories to our dear Repairbot, aka Trailblazer.
I understand. It's been a while since we've been
I don't
here.
believe I've actually explained the purpose of these structures. It's interesting, the kind of effects these monoliths will have on organics over a long period of time.
My own office looks very similar to
The
this.
psychic energies that radiate off of them will help a species adapt, grow
We
more
call it
cognizant, if you will.
Deep office.
I posit a question.
Hmm.
If the purpose of these monoliths are to some extent improvement, adaptation,
Right.
modification,
Intellect.
how does that not apply to a synthetic?
If you do not have a true conscience, a true cognizance, structures such as these will not work on them.
I wonder if that's why some of the others got lost in the interference.
Potentially.
I beg your pardon, one more time. I'm getting...
Explain that again. You,
Your friend, what was their name again?
Zig.
My apologies, Andromeda.
Yes, Zig.
Trailblazer. This place is not often frequented by those who aren't of the inner circle to, one such as us. How often have you been here?
I've been here quite a lot.
Interesting. What do you think of this place?
I don't have a particular opinion about it.
Really?
He's been here a good deal of times helping me with particular individuals, much like Mr. Tish here.
I see.
And how did you two come to be what you are, you were?
That's a great question. I'd love to know. Wait. This was an old thing. You see, I'm a story collector. I collect stories. Implied in the name. It's,
Of course.
This is book number 14. And this is the section on Zig. I don't actually remember of any of this actually happening, but the stories of me and him.
May I ask you a question?
I see.
Of course.
Far be it any personal business of mine, but how can you tell that that little book in your hands is fact versus fiction?
That's actually very reasonable. The book itself, well, there's no chance that there's no chance that I can prove that is absolutely true, especially considering the majority of the stories are that. Stories. But I've been reassured by my friends, people who I trust, that I actually did love this man.
I see.
They've told me from time and time, from every single one of my doubts, that this is the action that I should be taking. That's about all I can tell you.
Hold still. Did anyone else hear that?
Hear that? What was that?
Somebody bugged you.
How?
Here.
Oh,
Is there someone else here?
was that one of the girls?
The girls are quite often here. I keep them around. They're good company.
Yes.
Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Tish?
No, absolutely not. I didn't do anything here. But I can feel our kids here. Not here.
I was bugged.
Here.
How much were they listening in on?
Connection with. To be fair, I've heard many people talk about that one in particular. Believe it or not, some even organics find your particular form interesting, intriguing in a way.
Wonderful.
Well, whatever it was shoddy. Nothing too fancy. Probably
Low tech?
explains why coming here gave it such interference. Yes. Go ahead, proceed on in.
See you on the other side.
We will delve into the ocean of consciousness. Find what it is you have lost. Slow it down.
Breathe.
Slow it down.
Oh, that's been nice. Looks like we had a pretty nice relationship. Oh, that's a nice story.
I got him. Easy up. Come on, up.
From the way you reacted, looks like you got a pretty big slice.
It just feels soft. It feels warm. I remember the pieces. It's comforting.
Assist Mr. Tish. Keep him on his feet.
Of course.
Come then.
Some lovely
This
memories.
way.
I'm pulling. But I just
Church
need
on the
to
hill.
promote it.
I've heard of that.
If you read the newspaper, the bells that they heard are the bells that you just heard.
Symbolizes an attack.
From what I can tell, either that or something far, far worse.
Perhaps we should go back to the Lotus and discern what occurred.
Indeed.
Before that, while we were in more private company, I would like to hear what you have to say.
I won't repeat myself, Joe.
I'm listening.
What's that? I hear anything.
Sounds like
How long do we have?
Maybe a few months, Joe. Give
That's
or
hardly
take.
any time at all.
None between us.
I seldom feel anger. Let's get you back to the Purple Lotus. Come.
Understood.
I may be asking you for that favor sooner than expected. Everyone, hold on.
Received a distress call. You're more familiar with these streets than I am, and I'd hate to have to get my hands dirty, so...
I'm afraid
I know, but yeah, it's too late.
I've never been to this part of town. What is all this?
Lava.
Welcome to this...
Lava, that's what it is.
I hear her.
It can. It took her parts. What? Scrappers.
What game? Scrappers. Find her.
Over here. Anya? Anya? Anya, can you hear me? Anya, get a hold of yourself. Look at me. Come on. Gas. Picks her up. Huh?
Well, that's no good.
Come on. I'm bringing you back. I've got you over my shoulder. Trailblazer, over here. Hold on, let me put her on the bench. Here we go.
Need to clog their systems first.
Of course. Do you?
You'll see that she has an arm completely torn off.
That's right.
Bit it off.
What the hell happened here? We were gone for only a moment.
Analyzing.
Do not interfere with this operation, please.
Alright.
Desperate people, desperate synths,
The arm was clean.
either trying to find parts to sell or them to repair each other.
Desperate. You take a look at the status of your city, especially the chaos involved in. It's no surprise people are getting desperate. But they must choose their battles wisely.
The councilman that's supposed to be watching over the synths don't do anything.
The councilman in charge of synthetics.
At least that's just true.
No, wait. Sorry, Flobot.
I heard a few words of this.
Did you really?
We're... Yes, anyways. Where did you found...
He wants equality to everyone. That's great.
When did I
To the
what?
point where he just let
When
people
did you
walk
found
over
them?
him.
Not too long ago. I don't know how long they've been in this condition, but judging by her circuitry, she's been lying there for at least 6 minutes and 47 seconds.
Yes.
I see.
Joebot, will you
Let me analyze the area.
further class protocol?
Be careful where you go.
I was able to close it for now.
See to her. Contact her maker as well. Asa was her name. Of course.
There seems to be another presence,
Equality.
but they seem to be long
But I
gone.
was just enlightened as to what's on its way here. and we don't have time to play around with petty politics. Getting along. Changes are going to need to be made and made fast, especially if most who are here and in this sector of the universe, for that matter, are to survive.
We're just buckets of bolts. What can you do?
You will come with me back to my office and tell me all that I wish to know of this councilman.
Operation complete. Scanning for any hostiles.
Councilman in charge of synthetics
Scanning for any.
and beyond.
Scanning.
Find out who they know.
Don't tell anybody I was nice to you.
Scanning.
Sure.
Take it easy.
If you're looking for relations, compromises. Okay.
Precisely.
Okay, I see where this is
You
going. Alright, sure.
Has Zafira always been like this?
No.
Reporting.
I did tell you before.
You did.
This all used to be much, much better.
I didn't believe you until now.
I did a scan of the area, was not able to find any hostiles, according to the cut.
With me for a moment. Good. Hold the ground. Call a transport. Get her out of here.
Of course.
There is a councilman who's supposed to be representing the synthetics of this region. He is not a being of admiration. Hardly does his part. And this is a result of his lack of progress in the region.
It's so
What
funny.
you told me is to come. And we only have so little time. We need as many of these as we can possibly get together.
I know we've had our differences, Joe. We've flatlined before in the past. You and I in our partnerships, but I wouldn't have come here if not for good reason, and I need this to work. Partners.
For now, partners.
For now.